Governor Shumlin says more funding is needed for treatment and for rehab facilities. That's something long known by those who frequently see the hold heroin has on addicts. Our Brandon Lewis spoke to social workers today in Vermont. Brandon, how do they feel about the state of the state message?
Well, Greg, they're encouraged by the governor's speech and hope it will lead to some real changes. They say the statistics clearly show a need to help addicts, but there's a stark lack of places to send them, especially in towns near the New York border.
Given Governor Peter Shumlin's remarks, the state of Vermont is not well when it comes to addiction. Heroin is gripping the Green Mountain state, but it doesn't stop at the border, expanding well into the capital region. But resources in small-town Vermont are slim for addicts.
This is one of our major issues, our stumbling blocks right now, is that we don't have a drug treatment center in Bennington County.
Amelia Silver is the development director at Sunrise Family Resource Center, which helps families in need. Recently, its caseload contains more addicts to opiates than ever before.
In the past several years, our caseload has become increasingly higher with young mothers, first-time mothers giving birth to babies that need to go through withdrawals.
Since Bennington County doesn't have a rehab facility, Sunrise is forced to direct addicts to facilities hours away that often have a wait list of up to a month.
They could be permanently lost. I mean, it's sometimes a person's life can go downhill really quickly because addiction is such a relentless disease.
Governor Shumlin hopes to expand treatment efforts for those charged with drug crimes. Advocates say a noteworthy plan, but Southwestern Vermont is without a place to send them.
We really should be a hub because you probably are familiar with we had a huge drug bust in Bennington last winter, biggest drug bust in the history of Vermont in our town, and yet we don't have a treatment center here. These are our friends and family and neighbors were involved, and so I think that the willingness to talk about this and do something about it is increasing, and now is the moment.
Now, while the focus of the governor's speech was on treatment, there is a law enforcement angle to that story. We'll talk with police about the efforts to combat drug trade and help addicts coming up tonight at 6:30. Live in the studio, Brandon Lewis, CBS 6 News.
And before you go, Brandon, I know we've talked a lot about teens and young adults using heroin in the capital region. Are they seeing the same thing in Vermont?
They are, to a certain degree when it comes to this, but it can affect any age. I mean, just yesterday there was a man in his 50s who overdosed at a Saratoga Springs hotel. But in Bennington, it is along the same line. Sunrise works mostly with families, and they've seen more young moms in need of help. And they say they're also seeing higher numbers of first-time moms delivering babies that end up needing to go through withdrawal.
Don't want to hear that. All right, thank you very much. Brandon Lewis reporting live tonight from our newsroom. Liz? Oh, actually, it's still me.